Hello, Naman here. Thank you for watching the very first Dygres video. In this video, I am going to talk about two things: Dygres the platform and Dygres the channel. Let's first digress about the platform. Dygres is an experimental online communication tool that I have been working on for the last 5 years, on and off for the last 5 years. It started its life as a social media website with the idea of providing its users complete control over their accounts and their content with zero utilization of algorithms for content curation. Since I started working on this, the visions and goals behind Dygres have obviously evolved considerably, and I have learned so much, to the point where Dygres went through multiple iterations, with the current version is actually build number 3. And each build has honestly taught me a lot about where I believe Dygres resides in the online space, for starters, and how best to execute the vision that is stuck inside my head. This exploration has also led me to develop sort of like these founding pillars, the pillars that Dygres has been founded on. And now we're going to talk about what those pillars are. But before we talk about what those pillars are, I kind of want to state that these are foundational pillars. That means that Dygres lives and dies on these ideals. So what are they? For starters, no ads and no advertisers. That means we have no form of paid advertising allowed on the website, which sucks for some advertisers, but is what it is, man. As an individual who joins Dygres, you are in complete control and ownership. Let me say that again. Complete control and ownership of your account and the content you create. Dygres does not own anything related to your account or the content you publish. And we also don't sell your data to third parties because, well, starters, we don't collect any data, so there's nothing to sell. We also don't allow any form of anonymity on the platform. Now, I know I said no anonymity, but you can hide your public-facing identity as a safety measure. However, the platform does require authentication to prove that you are human, and there will be periodic checks and there will be certain triggers that will initiate at certain points in your account's life cycle, which kind of brings us beautifully to our next point, and that is that we do not allow any bot accounts, we do not allow any fake accounts, and we absolutely do not allow any AI-driven accounts. Now, when I say AI-driven accounts, I mean an account that is run by an AI. So you can use AI to create content and publish it as long as you openly state it, but we do not allow any AI-driven accounts. Why? Well, honestly, because this platform is designed with one principle in mind, and that is it is for human-to-human connections. It's designed for humans to connect with other humans, not humans to connect with other bots. There is no reason why you should be talking to a bot on a social media site. That defeats the purpose of a social media site. It's absurdly stupid that sites have it, but Dygres will not have it. We're also introducing a creator economy. Well, not introducing it because it's one of the pillars, so there will be a creator economy that will accept both traditional and cryptocurrency. Why? Because my goal and my belief is that anyone that joins Dygres, they should be able to make a living off of it. If you are spending time on this platform, you should be compensated for it. Now, obviously, we don't have this out in the beginning, but as the platform builds itself, as more features are introduced, obviously this will come into play, but that is why it is one of the pillars. Which again segues beautifully into our next pillar, and that is we have no algorithms, none. And we will never, ever have any algorithms for content curation. Why? Well, because you, the users, decides what rises to the top and what fades into obscurity. People complain about algorithms to no end. They complain about how the algorithms screwed them, how the algorithms are not getting them views. Well, this is as organic as it gets. Actual people are now looking at your content and they are deciding whether it's worth their time or not. Now, I want to talk about another pillar, and which is that this platform will and always will be 100% free to use. But we are going to have a subscription model. The subscription model does not paywall any feature. What this means is it will remove restrictions on certain features. It will remove limits on certain features. So as an example, think Google Drive. You pay for a subscription, you get more storage. So something like that. Another one of my favorite pillars is that every subscriber or every account holder on Dygres will have what's called voting rights. And these voting rights are not something introduced as a joke. They are actually quite powerful because they shape the platform and its evolution. So if I were to sum this up in 2 words, distributed governance. If you are part of a network that connects people on a global scale, you should have a say in how that platform evolves. We cannot let people with the deepest pockets and loudest voices decide where the platform is going. That is no longer the case. Finally, I want to talk about my personal favorite pillar, the one that I consider to be one of the most controversial pillars. Well, it's an ambitious goal, and that is that Dygres will operate without the need for an internet connection. Now, I promise you that's going to happen, and I promise you it will be liberating, but there is something I want you to know about that. This is not something that is done overnight. It is an extremely complex ask. It is an extremely complex subject, and it is something we are going to fight to no end to make sure it exists. We live in an era where everybody is connected. So it only makes sense to provide every individual that exists with an ability to communicate with anyone else on the planet. Why should there be any restrictions? Why should you be restricted from speaking to someone? Why should you be restricted from learning from someone? It seems absolutely absurd. Isn't that what the internet was supposed to do? But you see what we did with that one. So that's one of our ambitious goals. These are 10 pillars, if you have been counting. These are 10 pillars, and I am gonna elaborate more on each of these pillars in separate videos. We are going to have discussions on these pillars. We are going to have Q&A rounds on these pillars. We are absolutely going to critique each and every single one of them. We are going to poke holes, because the more we work together, the more we understand how best to execute this, the stronger the platform becomes, and the safer you are online. To this end, I am looking for talented developers to contribute to the ongoing development of Dygres. I am also looking for investors, seasoned and early seed investors, to help guide the ongoing growth and development of Dygres. Now, as an individual, because this was a bootstrap venture and the idea was to create sort of a proof of concept to understand software development, I have exhausted the resources that are available to me. But beyond that, I have also exhausted my ability and my knowledge. So now I need talented individuals that are specialized in certain areas to help develop this further. And we will have discussions on how that is going to work in a future video, but that is something that is what I consider to be the next step for this platform. So for now, please go give the website a chance. Go check it out at dygres.com. Go look at it in its early alpha buggy state and provide as much humanly feedback as possible. Or is it as much feedback as possible? However you phrase it. Try and provide as much feedback as possible. Be as brutal as you need to be as hurtful as you need to be, because the success of Dygres depends on responding to its users. Dygres is not driven by the loudest voices, and nor is it driven by the deepest pockets. It is driven by the people that use the platform, and they want to see it go somewhere. It's driven by their opinions, their votes. So go check it out and let me know what you think about it. Now, let's digress about the second part of this channel, and that is the wonderful conversations we're going to have, because we're not going to talk about the platform in every single video. That's going to get boring and no one's going to subscribe, and then, I'm going to be sad. So what we're going to do is we are going to have interviews and conversations on this channel. And how that is going to work is, well, I am a researcher, a marketer, and a self-proclaimed entrepreneur. And wearing those hats, what I'm going to do is I am going to interview experts and get their opinions on a variety of subjects, a variety of topics, if you will. Topics such as climate change, financial well-being, politics, social media addiction, work-life balance, and so much more. And you will find that there will be themes that connect with Dygres, and there will be themes that don't connect with Dygres, but all of it will serve a purpose. This is not going to happen without end. They will help shape not just the platform, but the people working on the platform, and how we'd like to be perceived as a company. I'm going to go a step further though. And I am going to do something that is usually frowned upon. And what that is I'm going to invite you, the subscribers, to join us and share your opinions, your thoughts, your feedback on these topics and the platform itself. So for example, if you go on Dygres and you start a thread on one of the Dygres pillars, it becomes a popular thread, you will be invited to have a discussion if you decide to accept. My goal is to get as many voices and as many opinions into the pot as possible. There is a small disclaimer that I kind of want to add to the previous section that I talked about with the experts. And that is that we are going to have a focus on Canadian experts and voices on the periphery. Now, what do I mean by voices on the periphery? These are voices outside of North America. Why? Because it's time for more outside perspectives. It's time to broaden our horizons. It's time to stop being isolated to the North American ideology of doing things. There is this saying that goes that travel is fatal to prejudice. So are conversations on a global scale, and we have all the tools right in front of us to accomplish this. So it's time we start using them. I mean, if you think about it, you have all these social media websites that claim that they connect people all across the world, and yet all we talk about are celebrities and the next election, and not in the way we should be talking about them. So we are going to connect with people on a global level. We are going to learn from them on a global level. Maybe there is someone out there that loves talking about marine life, has opinions that we've never heard. Maybe you are someone that has crazy amounts of knowledge on interstellar travel. Whatever it may be, I want to hear from you. And I'm sure the people that subscribe to this channel want to hear from you. We will find a way to make it work. So if you are out there and you're watching this and you're like, well, I have something that will blow your socks off, Naman. The details are in the description box below. Send me an email. Let's work something out and let's get this shit on the road. It's going to be fun. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. On a more final note, there's something I want to say, that this is the beginning of something bold, something new, and something different. And as your host, I hope that I provide the information, or I provide content that not only informs and educates, but is also worth your time, because you are going to watch this and I want it to be worth your time. And as I evolve, creating this content, creating more content for you, I hope I get better at it, and I hope you understand where I'm going with it, hopefully. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you for watching. And I will see you soon in our next video, which I promise you is going to be extremely controversial. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you get that notification thing turned on so you know it's out there. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.